I showcase these stories in Google reviews because I'm proud of each and every client that has conquered their fears and puts into work every single day. And I'm thankful and blessed to be part of their journey. Picture this. You're standing in the parking lot of a gym. Your hand is on the door handle. You've driven there about 3 times already this week, but you haven't walked in yet. Your heart is racing and you haven't even started exercising. Your mind is racing as well. And you're thinking, everyone in there knows what they're doing. I don't even know how to use those exercise machines. What if I hurt myself? What if I look stupid? What if I fail again? So you get back into your car and you tell yourself, you'll come back Monday, but Monday has come and gone about 47 times now. Does that sound familiar? Here's what I've learned over the last 3 decades as a personal trainer in helping hundreds of people transform their health. The hardest part isn't the workout itself. The hardest part is walking through those gym doors for the first time. I'm Ed Slonsky. I'm a veteran. I have a bachelor's in exercise science, and I'm an old personal trainer. Yes, I said old. But old is actually my superpower. It means that I have seen a lot over the 30 years in fitness industry. I've trained at high-end clubs, big box gyms, in people's living rooms, and out of my own facility, which I own for over 16 years. I've seen every fitness trend come and go, and somehow come back again with a new name. But here's what I want you to know, right from the start. I'm not here to sell you on some magic program or pretend that getting fit is easy. I'm here to give you the truth about what it takes to start an exercise program when you're over 40, when you have limitations, when you have injuries, and when you're honestly not sure if your body can handle this anymore. I'm gonna help you conquer your fears and finally walk through those gym doors. After 3 decades in this industry, I can tell you exactly why most people never start, and it has nothing to do with laziness. In fact, most people I work with are incredibly disciplined in other areas of their life. They run businesses, they raise families, they manage complex careers. So what's stopping them? Fear. Here are 6 fears that have been conquered by clients I've trained over the years. Fear number 1, fear of injury. This is the big one, especially for people over 40. You've accumulated some injuries over the years. Your body has more creaks than an old haunted house. And you're thinking, if I start working out, I'm gonna make these creaks worse. That's very valid. For context regarding this fear, let me tell you about Bob. Bob came to me at 73 years old needing hip replacement surgery. We prepared his body for that surgery, strengthened the muscles around his hip, improved his balance, got him to the best shape possible. And you want to know something amazing? Bob was back training with me after 3 weeks. 3 weeks after surgery. His doctor couldn't believe it, but I could because we prepared him properly. Here's the truth. The right exercise program doesn't cause injury. The right exercise program designed specifically for your body and your limitations prevents injury and helps you heal. But here's the key, the right program. Not some routine you found on the internet written by a 25-year-old who thinks pain is just weakness leaving the body. Maybe for a 20-year-old, but for a 40-year-old, pain isn't weakness leaving the body. Pain is your body screaming, hey dummy, stop doing that. Your fear of injury can be mitigated by establishing the right exercise program specifically for your needs. Fear number 2, fear of looking foolish. Yes, this is a valid fear. You walk into a gym and everyone seems to know what they're doing, moving from machine to machine with confidence. You look fit, comfortable, and you feel like a fish out of water. Except the fish is wearing gym clothes they bought 3 years ago that still have some tags on them. But here's the truth. Every single person in that gym felt exactly the same way on their first day as you did. Every single one. Also, everyone is there to discover and navigate their own fitness journey anyway, just like you. The difference between them and you is that they have already walked through those gym doors. And here's something else. Nobody in that gym is paying attention to you. You want to know why? Because they're too busy worrying about themselves. They're too focused on their own workout, trying to remember if today is leg day, or pretend I'm going to do leg day, but actually just do arms again today. To mitigate this fear, just remember, every single person in that gym is taking those same steps you're about to take. Everyone in there stepped through those gym doors and decided to work on their health. Fear number 3, fear of failure. Maybe you've tried before. Maybe you've started and stopped more times than you can remember. Maybe you bought equipment that's now collecting dust in your garage, serving as a very expensive clothing rack. For context regarding this fear, let me tell you about Dave. Dave came to me with knee and shoulder injuries. These weren't minor annoyances. These were real limitations that could have easily become excuses to quit again. But here's what made the difference. Instead of working around his injuries or pretending they didn't exist, we made them part of his plan. We focused on injury prevention while keeping him active. We blended strength, balance, and stretching into every session. We customized everything to his specific needs. The secret? As part of his fitness journey, Dave has someone he can lean into, has someone who's walking by his side. Fear of failure can become very real when your attempts to exercise regresses your injuries as opposed to progress from them. Remember, your previous attempts didn't necessarily fail because you failed. Your attempts were compromised because you didn't have the right instructions to pursue your fitness journey. It's like trying to build IKEA furniture without the instructions. Sure, some people can do it, but most of us need the manual. Fear number 4, fear of pain. Let's be real. Exercise can be uncomfortable. Your muscles get sore, breathe hard, sometimes you're shaking by the end of a set. But there's a huge difference between discomfort and pain. Discomfort is your body adapting. Like that feeling when you put on jeans fresh from the dryer. A little tight, but you know you'll be fine. Pain is your body telling you something is like when you try putting on jeans from 10 years ago. Your body is saying, friend, I hate to break it to you, but these are not going to work anymore. When you have the right program, when you're using proper form, when you're working within your capabilities, exercise doesn't cause pain. It eliminates it. I can tell you how many clients I've worked with who came to me with chronic pain, and after months of consistent, properly designed exercise, that pain is gone. Not masked, not managed, gone. The fear of pain can be mitigated by slowly progressing through a carefully designed fitness program. Fear number 5, I call it fear of limitations. You may have some old injuries or surgeries that you're concerned about, or maybe you have some lower back issues that make you feel like a robot when you first get out of bed. You feel that your body now has limitations, and now there's a fear of trusting in your body's capabilities again. You're asking yourself, can I play golf again? Can I play pickleball again? Can I hike again? These are very valid fears, and I've seen it time and time again. Here's what I want you to know. Limitations don't disqualify you from exercise. Limitations simply inform how we design your program. I've worked with people in their 50s, 60s, 70s, and beyond. I've worked with people who've got joint replacements, metabolic deficiencies, diabetic concerns. I've worked with people who have significant injuries and health conditions, and they all make progress. For context about this fear, I'd like to share Kim's story. Kim has trained with me on and off for 5 years. She's got old injuries and limitations. Every single workout we do is customized to address her specific needs. We've helped her with rehab on various injuries multiple times. Your limitations aren't obstacles. They're simply information that help design the perfect program for you. The fear of limitations can be mitigated by having the right plan, guidance, rehab, and fitness progression. Sure, by now you're noticing the pattern on how to conquer all these fears. Fear number 6, I call it fear of commitment. I recall a survey that asked fitness enthusiasts why they would hire a personal trainer. The number one answer was because it forced them to go to the gym. Basically, they had an appointment they had to keep. My client and good friend Rick once told me that his commitment to staying consistent in taking care of his health was partly because he had an appointment with me. And I want to humbly share part of his Google review. Quote, "Quite frankly, I can't imagine not having Ed keep me in tip-top shape at this point in my life. Plan to work with Ed for as long as I live. That touches my heart." Rick started training with me at 70, and we've been working together for 2 years now. Working with senior clients requires you focus on balance to prevent falls, flexibility to maintain range of motion, strength to fight against age-related muscle loss, and cardiovascular health because your heart is the most important muscle in your body. Obtaining the services of a personal trainer is a sure way to conquer your fear of commitment. It forces your hand to work on your health and fitness. I'm sure by now you recognize a pattern on how to mitigate fear while navigating the fitness landscape. It boils down to having the right instructions, the right map, and the right GPS and guidance to help you get to where you're going. Having the right plan and program, plus someone to show you, can eliminate all the fears that come with starting exercise. If you are experiencing some of these fears, or if you are starting a fitness journey, or in the middle of one, and are considering personal training or rehab, here's a checklist I put together that I would like to share with you to help you mitigate your fears and help you determine if seeking professional help could be part of your fitness journey. First on the list, consultation. If you're considering obtaining services from a personal trainer, it is very important to interview and research their background. There are a lot of excellent personal trainers out there, and all of them start with an extensive consultation. They want to know as much information as possible to program your fitness plan while keeping you safe. When I first consult with a potential client, here's what happens. First, we sit down and talk. I mean, really talk. Want to know about your injuries, your goals, your fears, and your previous attempts at exercise. I want to understand your life because fitness doesn't happen in isolation. Fitness happens in the context of your real life with your real schedule and your real obligations. Then we do a fitness assessment, but not some generic assessment. We assess specifically what matters to you. If you're a golfer, like several of my clients, we'll assess your flexibility and rotational strength, specifically for golf. If you're dealing with balance issues, we'll do comprehensive balance testing. If you're recovering from an injury, we'll assess that injury and the compensations your body has made because of it. I believe that the first meeting is like a job interview. When you're interviewing a potential personal trainer to hire, it is imperative to make sure you have all your questions answered to your understanding. Hence, I personally believe that a first workout and consultation should be complimentary to everyone. It gives them a chance to kick the tires. Second on the list, safety. Personal trainers are stickler for the basic three: form, pace, breathing. They all have to work together. If the weight's too heavy, form is compromised. If it's too light, pace could be compromised. Key breathing gets more and more important as exercise gets heavier. But outside of the basic three, a personal trainer has to be aware at all times of the most important muscle in the body, the heart. Determining and progressing through heart rate training zones is very important in keeping a client safe. Hence, for every workout, I use and record real-time heart rate tracking on all my clients that's visible as they work out. Not to push harder, but to keep everyone safe and to make sure that training occurs in the right zones for one's goals. It's like having a speedometer in your car. It tells you if you're going too fast, too slow, or just right. And also, you'll get an email copy of this report after every single workout. Third on the list, rehab. I've been doing this for 3 decades, and after training hundreds of clients, I can count in one hand how many of them had 0 limitations. 99.9% had some sort of injury, limitation, nutritional imbalance, metabolic imbalance, surgery, joint replacements, or a combination of sorts. There's almost always something. Rehab is basically modified exercise. Joints articulate the same way for mostly everyone. The variable that's different is the range of motion. Could be from an injury, scar tissue, wear and tear, repetitive motions, inflammation due to diet or medical conditions or metabolic conditions, plus a number of different combinations. I have been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to volunteer my services at several physical therapy clinics. Different techniques I've learned further reinforces my studies in exercise science. It is imperative that personal trainers have some sort of exposure to physical therapy. Think of a personal trainer like a gatekeeper for your doctor, your chiropractor, your massage therapist, and your physical therapist. Your personal trainer has to be aware of all the fitness variables in your life and know when to advise to seek a professional outside their scope of practice. Fourth on the list, recovery. Recovery is just as important, if not more, than your workout. Your gains are more determined by the quality of your recovery than the intensity of your workout. Sleep, hydration, and quality nutrition are all part of the recovery equation. A personal trainer can start your recovery process right away by stretching every single muscle in your body after your workout. Stretching is a good way to ease the tension on your muscle fibers. It promotes an increase in blood flow to all the muscle fibers that you're stretching. It also gets you on the right track to relax your body. That is why after every single one of my workout sessions, I include comprehensive stretching. I provide passive stretching, pressure point release, and percussion gun treatments as needed. And I believe that every personal trainer needs to provide this service to every one of their clients. And fifth on the list, retention. There are a lot of capable and outstanding personal trainers out there. But I believe that a personal trainer's retention rate is one of the most honest measures of his or her work. When people don't stay outside of financial constraints, it's often because they aren't seeing results, aren't enjoying the process, or don't feel genuinely cared for. When people do stay month after month, year after year, I think it reflects something deeper than programming or technique. It reflects trust. Over the course of my career, I was fortunate enough to maintain over a 90% retention rate, meaning more than 90% of clients who started training with me continued long-term. Lydia and her husband Jay trained with me for over 10 years, as well as Mike, Jackie, and others on my Google reviews. They left me Google reviews after I relocated from Los Angeles to Arizona. Lydia and Jay had said that I had become more than a trainer to them, a true friend. That meant more to me than I can express. That's the kind of fitness experience I've always hoped to provide. Not a transaction, but a real relationship. A partnership where clients feel supported, understood, and genuinely celebrated in their progress. I don't take that kind of trust lightly. I am grateful for every client who has allowed me to be part of their journey. Investing in your health requires a lot of research and consideration. It's like buying a home. There are major variables on your checklist: location, 1-story or 2-story, 1-car garage or 2-car garage. Once you've determined your requirements and needs, it gets easier to find the home you want to invest in. You've determined that you do not need a Bellagio fountain in your front yard. You have a checklist now. Now here's your checklist of the variables to consider when seeking professional fitness help. A personal trainer should, at the very least, have the following experience. 1, extensive consultations along with their first workouts. 2, extensive safety background with CPR and AED certifications. 3, have a basic understanding of rehab exercises and modifications. 4, extensive and comprehensive after-workout stretches. He or she should treat your recovery as important as your workout. And 5, a personal trainer's retention rate is the most honest measure of all the attributes a fitness professional offers. Now you know what to ask when interviewing a personal trainer to hire. I hope that you found some value in this video in addressing your fears, plus a guideline in securing the services of a personal trainer. Please consider subscribing, liking the video, and sharing to those who could use this information. Remember, secure your health and put life in your years. I wish you the best on your fitness journey. Slay and conquer your fears. And please do not hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or just need a little nudge. I'm Ed Slonsky, and thank you for watching The Old Personal Trainer.